And apparently that's why they need them at the cathedral. But that means that, on some level, they understand that the transubstantiation thing doesn't really go. And I really wonder how they put that together, because, well, the Catholics are good at putting arguments like that, putting some interesting arguments like that together. And I'd like to see where they go. So if you know, a continued shout out, if you know how this functions at the Catholic Church, I'd like to hear it. And thank you, Keith, for your
I'm thinking it may be a bit of a Schrodinger's cat sort of thing, where it's both a cracker and Jesus at the same time, as long as it's in the stomach. Okay. So you have to cut somebody open.
Heisenberg uncertainty.
Yes.
Okay. We could go on.
We could. You want to talk about some Satan?
Talk about some Satan? I think, yeah, we could do that.
Let's jump to Satan.
Let's jump to Satan. I have it here. Okay, this comes to us, again, from the internet. Anyway, I thought I should point out something quick. In a few episodes, you have discussed the topic of Satanism and how it is essentially Christianity. One person specifically, I cannot remember the name right now. You know who said that? Was that you, or was that Casey?
I think it was Casey who said that.
Hey, Casey. I assume you would like to be more intelligible about your answers and much more complete at times, which is why I want to point out that Satanism is not always similar or even a part of Christianity. Such as the Church of Satan, it is an atheist group. I would also call myself a Satanist, but also an atheist.
Well, the guy that we were talking to on the phone at the time was a theistic Satanist.
He was.
But I think it's a guess. We do know the Church of Satan is non-theistic. They are not rational, though.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to note that not all atheists are both rational or skeptical. That these guys do inherit, they do take a lot of weird magic-based beliefs.
Yeah.
And aside from the idea that they're just saying, oh, well, I'm going to watch Star Wars and I'm going to root for Darth Vader. Take that. Aside from that sort of angle, I think that most of our criticisms still hold. I do think it's childish, and I do think it's contrarian.
But I like a little bit of childish, contrarian fun now and again. I mean, I have described the Church of Satan as sort of atheist with a penchant for dinner theater.
Dressing like Ming the Merciless.
And dressing like Ming the Merciless, which, I could do. And I've known a few people who were involved with the Church of Satan now and again. And I thought it was fun. I couldn't take it seriously.
How can you take it seriously? You're going around dressed like Professor Snape.
You could go on about it.
It's like, come on. It's like, okay, Dr. Strange.
I would, I'd go to their events or something like that, but I don't believe it. The other thing is that the Church of Satan does have a semi-spiritual magical component to it. Is that they do believe in some sort of Crowleyistic kind of magic force of will type thing. And that is unproven, and as a skeptic, I can't go with that. There's no evidence for this working. So while they might not believe in God and they might be atheists, they do have a sense of the supernatural in the Church of Satan.
It's kind of like the Raelians in that way. It's like, I've said this a million times before, but I think it's far more important why you believe something than what you believe. So yeah, you're an atheist, so what? You can be an atheist for really stupid reasons. The same way you can be a Christian for really stupid reasons. There's one good reason, and that's evidence. You can actually back up and show demonstrable evidence, independently verifiable evidence for your claims. There's no reason for anyone else to possibly believe it.
I do think there's perfectly valid reasons to be an atheist without being a skeptic. I think there are valid reasons out there. I mean, there's just sort of the general crisis of faith things where people just realize that the religion they've been following for years doesn't make any sense at all, and go to atheism and say I don't believe in this and I don't believe in religion before they go to anything about skepticism. It's just that in Ask an Atheist, we are also very interested in skepticism. I don't know that everybody involved in the show is a skeptic, but
for the most part they are.
Okay.
But again, we know lots of people who they're atheists, but they're also conspiracy theorists. They're atheists, but they're also like they believe in any number of weird other new agey kind of beliefs.
Yeah.
So it's one thing. I mean, really, atheism is not a worldview. Atheism is a position on just one question, and everything else is sort of open.
I called myself a skeptic well before I called myself an atheist publicly. There are a lot of skeptic agnostics out there, and some skeptic agnostics actually say that agnosticism is the only supportable methodology, is that there's no evidence, so you can't answer one way or the other.
But I think also they sometimes get confused on this scale as if there's a this three-part scale, and there's theism, atheism, and agnosticism in the middle. These things overlap. They're not mutually exclusive. Like, for instance, I'm an agnostic atheist. I take the